Okay, I'm Edwin Valles, your host for the podcast Be Not Afraid, one of the podcasts by Faith Watch TV, produced by the CBCP Social Media Office. In this podcast, we listen to stories and journeys of LGBT persons through their Catholic faith. So yung pinag-uusapan po natin ngayon will be ang isang devotee, isang LGBT person na devotee ng Poong Nazareno. No? So si Brother Marco. So dun sa first part po ng episode na to, shinare po niya sa atin yung kanyang personal experience with masculinity. Sadly, some of them are negative. Pero yung maganda doon, out of God's grace, yung person ni Jesus Christ, yung Sacred Heart niya, and specifically si Poong Nazareno, was a positive role model for him, or a positive male figure for him. No? So, always present, always giving, always loving, and always accompanying. No? So, yun po ang pag-uusapan natin itong second part na to. Magfo-focus tayo yun sa kanyang religious experience with the Nazareno devotion. So, pero bago po yan, so Brother Marco, would you like to greet our podcast viewers again?
Hello po sa mga viewers po ng Be Not Afraid. So, good day po sa inyo lahat.
So, sige. So, meron mga nakailang beses ka bilang devotee ng Nazareno. So, nakailang beses ka nang nakapag January 9 fiesta sa Quiapo. I mean, to this day. I mean, rough estimate.
Since I started going, pagpunta talaga sa during feast day since 2011. So, walang patid yun up until this year.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So, wow. So, that's about 10 years na, no? From 2011 to 2021. Or so, moving, for 2022 will be 12 years na, no? So, 11 years na. No? So, sige, parang out of the many times that you attended yung January 9, meron bang siguro one that is most memorable or most significant for you? And maybe you would like to share that to our podcast viewers.
Tingin ko yung that would be yung conversion experience ko. I would say that would be in the first instance that parang God really parang made himself present in my life.
2011
so 2011 January 9. So I think with all of my devotion, yung sa Cagayan, then sa Santo Niño, and then this parang devotion sa Poong Nazareno. Parang God, it is a perfect time. It is parang a converting devotion for me in my life. So 2009. So the usual, I go to Quiapo Church every Sunday and then during the feast day. But then yung intention ko talaga is magsimba lang. But then so may mga crowd yun, ganun. So parang naririnig ko sa na parang hihintay nila si Poong Nazareno na dumating dun sa Quiapo. So siguro might as well parang sige parang kumpletuhin ko na tong piyesta na to. So might as well join them in waiting for the Nazareno. So I think during those times ang Nazareno dumarating mga alas 2 ng madaling araw eh. So it's parang really parang ipinatential din yung experience nun kasi nakatayo ka for, di ba? Kasi usually nagisimba ko is around 7 p.m. sa gabi kasi nga you have to wait until sa madaling araw na dumating yung Poong Nazareno. So yun, so I decided to wait, and then parang yung experience maraming layers yung experience na yun sa akin kasi parang in a way yun yung parang representation ng parang yung devotion kasi lahat naman yung mga mamamanata ng Nazareno, iba-iba naman yung devotion. Yung iba talaga namamasan, yung iba talagang umano sa luneta, doon sila nagpumipilang, nagpapahalik, parang sa pahalik, ganun. So siguro very sa akin, parang customized as an LGBT person na parang nasa simbahan lang, tapos 'di ba may railings na para magpoprotekta sa iyo para kung kung magdagsanay yung mga masan. So parang ganoon. So doon ako doon siguro yung parang yung devotion ko during the feast day. And then when parang dumating na yung time, alas 2 na madaling araw, so dumating na yung Nazareno. So parang nakaramdam ako ng nakakaibang feeling, yung parang collective spiritual experience, kung masasabi ko din. Parang very excited na yung mga tao, parang yeah, Viva Nazareno, parang ganun. So I was really touched by that experience. Tapos nung binuksan na yung kasi parang kumakatok eh. So parang ano yun siya, parang siyang recently na-realize ko, parang siyang eschatological din yung meron siyang eschatological layer din yung experience niya. Kasi nga, parang siyang bridegroom, parang he's coming, yung parang late, he was a late bridegroom, parang dumating na siya. So, para siyang napakasaya ng dumating na, parang yung mga pagod ng na mamamasan devotees finally come into the pinnacle of the event na pagdating ng Nazareno. So I was deeply touched. Tapos nung pagbukas ng main gate nung main entrance nung Quiapo, so ang usually ang ginagawa nun is yung Nazareno is they would put that in the adoration sa kanan. So pinapasok na yung sa kanan. And then yung pupunta sa gitna would be yung mga mamamasan at saka devotees. So actually dalawang force yun kasi para hindi sila mag-rush sa gitna. So meron ding counter force doon. So parang para pigilan silang mag-rush sa gitna. So inaalalayan sila ng may mga devotees din. And then kami na mga nasa side. So kami din yung mag-force doon na para maging safe sila at hindi sila papunta sa side. So so parang tulungan, parang during that is tulungan na para maging safe yung lahat. And then just recently parang ako na magbigay ng tubig yung mga kasi talagang nakakauhaw yung mga mamasa is very long journey. Napaka nila. So talagang kailangan ng tubig. So ganun binibigay. So parang ganun yung experience, yung collective experience ng as a brother, 'di ba? As yung mga devotees na tulungan yung one devotion namin sa Pong Nazareno. So nararamdaman ko yun. And then I saw Jesus Christ during that feast day. Parang lahat ng mga dinanas kong hirap, lahat ng dinanas kong process sa life ko, parang na-unite sa Kanya. Yung na-unite sa dinadala niyang krus. So parang nagkaroon ako ng ganun. And then umiyak talaga ako. Talagang umiyak ako noon. And then, although parang medyo yung bitin yung luha ko, medyo. So parang it was a very powerful experience for me na parang nadama ko yung presensya ni Lord sa buhay ko. Parang it was an image na Jesus really coming back in my life. Parang He's entering in my life in a brand new way, in a very very intimate way. Na as a person of, 'di ba, with SSA or LGBT person, yung connection with God who love you passionately, or a man who love you passionately. So yun yung naramdaman ko during that feast day. And then although meron akong relationship with other guys, pero iba yung pagmamahal ng Diyos, iba yung pagmamahal ni Jesus parang it's very selfless and parang very giving love, kind of love. So parang yun yung siguro tingin ko part ng series of conversion ko during that year 2011 and in the Quiapo Church.
So so anyway, siguro mag-focus na lang ako doon sa parang magandang sharing mo, no? Yung I think magandang tumatak sa akin among the many that you shared is yung various forces, no, you described it. So may isang papasok, tapos pero isang counter force to balance it, and then kayo mga side parang pinupush nyo yung railing para kasi may momentum yun, di ba? So pwedeng sila mag-move forward, pwedeng sa side or pag walang counter force, pwedeng mag-topple over, no? So and then yung exhibition of masculine strength, no? Yung lakas ng lalaki, yung papaganyan, yung counter, and then yung kayo sa side. Actually, ang goal nun talaga is so that everyone will be safe, no? So that's how you describe it, no? So kaya siguro kung hindi deboto, parang nakakatakot siya, parang puro balyahan, but in fact, it's siguro the positive side of masculine strength, no? So it's really trying to keep everyone safe, no? In fact, it's a strength that that protects, no? So maganda yan. And then yung iba't ibang forces na yan, they seem to work together. Siguro maganda yun na halimbawa din talaga sa simbahan, no? So na in fact yung masculinity ng tao diverse, di ba? Iba-iba. May iba para namamasan, may iba yung counterflow, may iba nasa side ng railing, nag-aantay, di ba? So siguro talagang there's a role of siguro different types of masculinity within the church, no? So or even for sure even femininity that way, no? So that's one, no? So kaya na even if for example in our case, no, so we're males but we're attracted to another male, no, so there's a space for us in the church. So yun yung siguro maganda dun sa binahagi mo, no? So and God will use our masculinity to protect also and to provide safety to others. So yeah, and then maganda rin yung nabanggit mo about yung eschatological meaning, no? So yun na exactly yung Jesus Christ is coming again, no? So yung to put it simply, no? So kaya nga yung pagdating ng Nazareno, lahat ng tao, lahat ng deboto parang excited in anticipation, no? So yung Advent expectation. So and then pag kumatok na, pag dumating na nga yung bridegroom, lahat tayo masaya. So I think that's a very beautiful description. So siguro magandang yung eschatological na yon, yung pagdating ng bridegroom, no? So magandang transition yun para pag-usapan natin yung siguro paano sa tingin mo based on your experience, paano si Jesus, di ba, si Pong Nazareno bilang lalaki, alam mo yon, yung siguro na tinutugunan yung pagnanasa natin or yung pag-aantay natin ng isang pagmamahal mula sa isang lalaki. So bilang males who are attracted to the same sex. So yeah, maybe you would like to share with our podcast viewers paano mo siya na-bridge, no? Or paano mo in your own personal experience, paano mo siya napagnilayan. So kasi parang nangyayari yung transition na yan is from the carnal, yung flesh, no? So yung need for masculine affection with another man, in the physical presence, and then transitioning to something spiritual, no? So Jesus Christ being Jesus Christ, no? So being both God and man. So maaari mo bang mabahagi yan sa ating podcast viewers?
Sige. May comment lang ako kasi di ba yung Pong Nazareno is connected to the Christmas season. So parang nandun pa rin yung coming of Jesus Christ. So parang malapit din siya sa Santo Niño.
Correct.
So parang interconnected yung interconnected yung spirituality ng ng Nazareno. So medyo odd siya kasi para siyang Lent, pero it's in a way meron din siyang for me in my experience para may Advent connection din siya. So tingin ko yung
So yun yung pagka-share mo yan is looking it from the liturgical perspective, no? So tama kasi kakapasko lang, 'di ba? So December 25, January 1, parang yung octave, 'di ba? So yung Motherhood of Mary, and then January 9 yung Nazareno. So in fact it's within the season of Advent and Christmas, no? Or kakatapos lang. So and yet it talks about the suffering of Jesus Christ on the way to Calvary. So yeah. Thank you for sharing that insight.
So yun. So paano ba natugunan ni Pong Nazareno yung parang need ko as an SSA, a person with SSA, yung emotional pero tingin ko nandun pa rin yun parang isa pa rin siya dun sa conversion experience ko noong 2011. I still have a relationship that time. So I'm in a 1.5 year relationship nung nag-vote ako, and then nagkaroon din ako ng relationship for 3 months. But then during that time, parang nagkaroon din ako ng parang Saint Therese moments, Christmas conversion. yung after nag-devote na ako to study the Catholic faith, after nung experience ko ng Nazareno, to study the Catholic faith. And then parang August 2011, I decided sabi ko kay Lord, parang naranasan ko yung na-realize ko ang dami-dami yung binigay sa akin, yung lahat ng hiniling ko binigay niya, parang, and yet I am not parang giving something, parang wala akong ginagawa, nag-receive lang ako. So parang nagkaroon ako ng decision and prayer sa Quiapo. Sabi ko, Lord, please teach me how to serve you. Parang ganun yung And then nagkaroon ako ng grace, ang conversion din na to live a chaste life, December 2011. So parang Christmas grace ko na parang to live a chaste life na no more parang sexual encounters outside of marriage, and pornography and masturbation, I would give it up, parang ganun. So yun, so parang tuloy-tuloy lang yung mga grasya ni Lord sa buhay ko. So but then I still have this relationship because you know, yung yung situation ko is I'm very emotionally needy person. So parang yun yung parang drive ng aking same-sex attraction is the emotion. So parang that time is God is very very, it's like a lover in my life, parang ganun. So parang sabi nga nung mga yung mga nakarelasyon ko, na sabi nga parang kalaban daw nila si Lord sa buhay ko. Parang yun yung naramdaman nila kasi because I'm very, very devoted. So parang while having this relationship, parang inaagaw, parang nag-aagawan sila. Ganun. So God is really parang incessant lover in that time. So come December 2012, so after that year, parang so nagkaroon ako ng parang you confess all of my sins, parang gano'n, and then parang yung parang napag-aralan ko na parang hindi pala ako dun sa parang nasa state of sin ako, or nasa state of hindi to yung plan ni Lord sa buhay ko to have this kind of relationship. And then at that time sa Quiapo, parang hindi ko pa rin mag-give up yung relationship na to. But then parang in-assure ni Lord na na parang hindi niya ako papabayaan. Parang narinig ko nga yun sa prayer, during my prayer, na sabi ni Lord na I want you for yourself alone. Parang ang sinasabi ni Lord sa akin is gusto kita, ikaw lang, wala akong kahati. Parang ganun yung gusto niya mangyari. So syempre umiyak ako kasi nga medyo during that time na parang give up ko na yung relationship na to, parang ang feeling ko na mas mahal ko na si Lord kumpara sa relationship ko na to with a guy. So yun, so I have that grace to really free myself from that relationship. And then yun na nagkaroon ng freedom. Although yung journey ko towards being not being emotionally dependent to other persons, especially with the guys, it was a journey, but then it was the final straw for me to give up to that kind of lifestyle. And then I've been free from same-sex relationships since then. So it's been 9 years. So 9 years na akong in relationship with the Lord.
Yeah, so pero maaari mo bang I think maganda naman yung sharing mo, pero I think many people will interpret it as pero kasi kailangan ko ng nakikita, 'di ba? Yung I think marami tayong nariringgan na mga LGBT brothers and sisters na ganyan yung okay naman ako, maganda naman yung paniniwala naman ako kay Lord, pero gusto ko yung nakikita ko. Gusto ko yung minamahal ko present, physically present, no? So maybe would like to siguro paki-explain or pakibahagi or paki-share with us na bakit mo nasabi na mas matindi, umabot dun sa point na mas matindi na yung pagmamahal mo kay Lord kesa dun sa boyfriend mo at the time, no? So what exactly does that mean? No? So hindi ko lang alam kung ma-describe mo yun. No? Pero siguro try to shed some more light. Di ba? What exactly does that mean? So,
I would like to describe it. Yung tingin ko sa theology of the body, parang we have our bodies have espousal meaning. So parang although we're we have different vocation, pero ang ultimate destination natin is to be united and to be married to God, di ba? Yung our soul is being married to God. Yun yung talaga natin, yung pinaka-ultimate natin. So, tingin ko yung parang hinil ni Lord yung mga, di ba, yung mga yung kailangan i-heal sa buhay ko, yung parang yung affection ko with romantic affection ko with other men, parang hindi yun yung plano niya, hindi yun yung nakaplano sa akin sa buhay ko. So, parang inano niya ako dun sa tamang way of expressing my love towards other male. So, sa kanya, naramdaman ko yung presensya niya sa buhay ko in a very consoling and affectionate way during prayer, ganun. And then he also gave me those who would accompany me. na mga male figures na who would, diba, be there as a friend, as a brother, na
Or a father.
A father. And I mean, yung pagmamahal din naman is not just really in a romantic parang hindi lang naman siya romance but I mean in friendship, we could have very deep friendship with other men na without just being chaste and being very 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 intimate din. But then we have parang kailangan natin din magkaroon ng what is yung ano ba yung plano ni Lord in terms of relationships, di ba? So in my own experience, yun yung ginawa niya. He let his parang presence and love be known in my life, and then he sent me other men to accompany me along the way.
Yeah, so tama ba na parang yung kasi nag-focus ka dun sa the feeling that you get from prayer, no? So yung words na sinabi mo is comforting, consoling presence of the Lord, no? So so in your experience sa prayer time, in your conversation with the Lord, no? So nararamdaman mo itong comfort and consoling presence, no? So and then tama ba na yung comfort and consoling presence that you were starting to feel, di ba, or you're feeling in prayer time with the Lord, siguro became more attractive than the feeling that you get from your boyfriend at the time, tama ba?
Yes, because siya it's parang it's not temporal kind of. Hindi siya, hindi siya yung normal na experience mo with romantic relationship na parang intense and then it would wane down, parang ganun. Pero itong klaseng na to, siya parang transforming love siya. So, syempre at the first relationship, parang kailangan intense and then you would learn how to love and parang how to love the other person, parang ganun. So, although God parang showed himself be very affectionate and I parang na-feel ko yung affection niya, eventually he guided me on how to properly love other person. So parang yun yung parang training kasi the love is not just feelings. The love is kind of parang doing the good for the other person. So parang ganun. So yun yung parang we're being trained to love. Kasi before ang conception ko talaga with love is talagang kung very intense yung feeling mo, very very, di ba, elating. Yun na yung in love ka na talaga. So yun yung normal na cultural conception of love, di ba? Pero with loving God, di ba, parang He would draw you to that kind of affection, but then He would also train you how to, the authentic love na kailangan talaga natin. Yun talaga yung vocation natin to have an authentic love for one another and to God.
So, okay. So, we will try to unpack what you shared. No? Masyado maraming insights sa binahagi na. So, yeah. So, tama. Drawn, di ba? You were drawn to that affection. So, yun na nga, yung comforting, consoling presence. And then, parang you also shared na yung romantic relationship with your boyfriend was intense and then biglang mawawala, di ba? Or, alam mo yun, it could be erratic maybe, no? So, and then versus yung affection that Jesus Christ is drawing you towards, no? So it's kumbaga parang mas nagtatagal, tama ba? So yeah. So I think magandang biblical sample yan will be yung, di ba, yung si Moses, di ba, yung the burning bush, no? So siguro yun yung affection ni Lord, no? So exactly yung presence ni Lord kay Moses, kahit it's very passionate, it's fire, pero it does not consume, no? So I think yun yung difference, no? So and then versus yung romantic feelings with another person, so in your case yung boyfriend mo at the time, it's intense but it's consumed, so nawawala siya, diba? So ganun, no? Hindi nagtatagal. So I think parang when you were talking, no, so I think parang yun din yung naging journey ni Saint Ignatius of Loyola, if I remember correctly, no? Yung kaya niya dinevise yung discernment of spirit. So nag-focus kasi siya doon sa result, diba? Yung effect. No? So, okay, so meron akong experience. Ano yung effect nito, diba? So, parang nag-vacillate ba ako ng emotion or nag-linger ba tong feeling na to? So ginamit na yon yung kanyang personal experience na yon to devise yung discernment of spirits. No? So, yeah. And then, so that's the first part. The second part, yung binahagi mo is, once na dinro ka ni Jesus Christ to His love, tuturuan ka rin niyang magmahal. No? So, I think that's the other aspect of it. No? So, so naramdaman mo yung pagmamahal ni Jesus Christ, di ba? It's a passionate love that does not consume, no? Like yung burning bush na parang yung the Moses experience. Pero, yung love na yon also compels you to love back. No? So, and then, at hindi ka lang magla-love back na, kasi ganito yung alam ko magmahal, di ba? Pero it's the love na, okay, you love me, turuan mo ako paano ka mahalin back. No? So, I think that's siguro para yan, would you like to share some more on that aspect? No? So, yung Jesus Christ teaching you how to love as a result of that love encounter with Him.
So yun, kasi din sa pagbabasa ko rin sa yung teaching ng Silvan, and then being active in the church, yung ministry sa church. So you would know the truth ano ba talaga yung truth about love. Kasi I'd had many relationship before na I have many broken heart, parang
sa result of the relationship.
Yes, as a result of that relationship. So parang tinanong ko sa sarili ko, ano ba talaga yung pagmamahal? Parang ang pagmamahal ba talaga is magka-jowa ka lang or something like that. So siguro pivotal yung 2010, kaya siguro parang heartbroken din ako nung actually prior to that Nazareno experience. 2010, so I have this relationship, so he broke up. So doon ko na question yung love ko. Yung love, ano ba talaga yung love? So tingin ko during 2011 January, God showed me what real love is. Although at first He showed the affection side, but then God drew me into to train me into loving, to train me how to love Him, and He loves me back. Parang ganun. So parang iba-iba experience natin So iba-iba yung expression. But then in terms of as a person with SSA, we have to learn how to love in a real and authentic way with other men. So minsan kasi we have this kind of relationship, and we just parang take and take, or you give because you want to take, parang ganun, di ba? Pero yung authentic love is not like that. Parang we need to be, first we have to be chaste, di ba? We have to be chaste physically and emotionally with another person, with another guy. Kasi yun yung plan ni Lord hindi naman niya plan din yung in my life na talagang mag-engage ako into romantic relationship and sexual relationship with other men. But then He trained me how to, to love in a pure and holy way with other men.
Just like He does, no? So, ganun din kasi magmahal si Lord in a pure and holy way. Exactly. So, yeah.
So, yun. So, yun yung So, I'm still learning. Hindi ako graduate in terms of loving. I'm still on my way of how to love each, other, hindi lang naman with other guys, but then especially in your family, in your friends, sa church, sa ministry sa church. So, it's an ongoing journey naman yung training to love. And dun talaga ako dun ako na-struck. Kasi yun yung hinahanap ko nung during that time when I have this parang broken hearted. So yun yung hinahanap ko. And eventually I found that with God, ito pala yung hinahanap kong totoong pagmamahal. So doon ako nag-stick kasi alam parang in my own reason, in my own affection, alam ko ito yung totoo. Ito yung totoong path ng love na gustong ipatahak sa akin ni Lord.
So from Saint Ignatius of Loyola, ni Discernment of Spirits, to Saint Augustine, diba? So my heart is restless until it rests in you. So, and on that note, so pag-uusapan natin dun sa third part in our interview will be because naranasan mo yung love na yon at tinuturuan ka ni Lord how to love. No? So siguro it will be good to also talk about ano yung mga naging love response mo. No? So out of that religious experience on the Feast of Nazareno in 2011. So, yun yung pag-uusapan po natin dun sa third part ng ating interview with Marco as he shares with us his experience with Nazareno devotion. So, until then, I hope you'll still join us in the third part of the episode. So, again, I'm your host, Edwin Valles, and reminding you and exhorting you to always listen to the voice of the Lord telling us, "It is I, do not be afraid."